Hey folks, this is Rhykker, and today I want to talk to you about a game called Crossout. Now this video is sponsored by the developers of Crossout, but I turned down a lot of sponsorship opportunities, but this is a game that I've been wanting to check out for a long time now. I just haven't had the time. I remember hearing about this game well over a year ago, seeing some screenshots, and it really appealed to me. It was a sort of Mad Max, build your car, fight other cars type thing, and I love the whole Mad Max aesthetic and the whole demolition derby type of vibe. And I've been playing this game now for a few weeks and I have been having a lot of fun with it. There are even some light random loot drop elements in it that are reminiscent of an action RPG. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So what is Crossout? Well, basically it's a post-apocalyptic multiplayer game where you build a vehicle, a war machine, and then face off either against other players or computer opponents. There are PvP and PvE elements. The PvP modes see big team battles, you and your team against enemies vying for different objectives on different maps, whereas PvE puts you on a smaller team and there's a variety of different mission types and maps with different goals. It could be go protect this convoy as it travels through the map and gets attacked by a bunch of different enemies. It could be go capture this parcel and then drive it to the objective before you get destroyed. But really the core visceral appeal of this game to me from when I first heard about it was just, I guess as a kid I loved playing with Legos. I loved building things with Legos. And I think what I possibly liked most about doing that was then destroying what I'd built and seeing all the pieces go flying and stuff. And that's kind of what Crossout gets to offer. You get to build your own car. You shape it however you want. It has a really in-depth crafting system that's also really remarkably intuitive and simple to use. You get your different little Lego pieces and you can assemble them however you want within, you know, physics limitations. And then when you're facing off against other vehicles, you get to see the pieces of your car go flying off. You get to shoot off specific pieces of enemy vehicles. Pro tip, go for the guns and the tires. And then as you level up, you acquire more and better components and can build a bigger, crazier vehicle. And for me, a huge part of the fun is trying to build a vehicle that's, no, I'm gonna be smarter than everyone else. I'm gonna try this crazy design that no one else does. Because surely it's not because it's a terrible idea, it's because no one else thought of this genius plan. And of course, the game does offer sort of prefabricated templates at multiple levels and in different styles, so if you either want to just work off a template or just use a template, that is definitely an option. But I love it when I see just some crazy design and it's like, what, why is he doing that? And then you realize, oh, like I saw one guy build a car that was basically a giant ramp to allow teammates to drive onto him so that they can drive around as one massive battle tank with double the turrets. In a PvE mission where we had to escort a convoy, I saw someone build a car specifically for that mission. It's this giant car made to envelop the actual convoy so that he's protecting it with his car. It's like a big U-shaped car that just surrounds the convoy and drives along with it. Now the game currently is in open beta. It's available on PC, on Xbox One, on PS4. It's free to play. On PC you can either get it through Steam or through the specific Crossout client. And if you do try out the game, be sure to use the link in the description below. That'll give you an in-game pack key. And this is actually a good lead into our discussion about the game's pay model. Now again, it is free to play, so obviously they have to monetize somehow, so there are microtransactions. Now we just had that big video talking about loot boxes, and there's this whole big controversy in the gaming industry around that right now. So I've tried to take a critical eye to Crossout, and I feel the two big questions here are, is there anything unethical in the monetization model? And is there anything pay to win? So to answer that first question, this game lets you buy, with real money, exactly what you want. There's no shenanigans where you have to pay to randomly get what you might want. There's no gambling and that kind, so you can get exactly what you pay for. Which leads us to, is it pay to win? And while it is true that you can purchase better parts for your vehicle, you could, if you want, purchase a GG endgame vehicle right on day one, I still don't really consider that pay to win, and I'll explain why. The natural progression in this game is that you level up, and in leveling up, you are going to acquire better car parts and more car parts, and you're also obtaining experience in how to play the game. Now, the game's matchmaking system for PvP tries to match you with cars of roughly equal power. The more powerful your car, the more powerful your opponent's cars. So what's going to happen if on day 1, you spend X amount of dollars, buy the best possible gear in the game, build yourself the ultimate tank, and then get matched with a bunch of pros who earned their way up to that gear? Well, you're not going to have a good time. So it's not really pay to win if you don't end up winning. Now, I haven't gone to the end game, but so far from what I've seen, there's nothing that is exclusively obtainable through real money. What happens is you can buy in-game gold, but then in-game gold could be used to purchase anything you want. And you can acquire in-game gold completely in-game. There's 3 main ways to do this. The first is just playing the game by completing PvP missions while having a fuel tank on your vehicle. And if you do have a fuel tank, pro tip, hide it. I like to sneak mine in a nook underneath my vehicle, because what happens is if you win a PvP mission without dying and without your fuel tank being destroyed, you gain fuel. And once you gain X amount of fuel, you can sell fuel in the marketplace for gold. So that's one way to earn gold, which you can then spend on the market to buy whatever you want. The second way is to craft. Now, crafting does require a gold investment, but overall, you can craft and then you can sell on the marketplace and make profit that way. And then the third way is just playing the market. And that's what I do. That's what I kind of like to do. Back in Diablo 3 is when I acquired a taste, or I had to acquire a taste for playing the market. Back when we had the auction house in Diablo 3. So my way of earning gold has been playing the market and playing the game. But nonetheless, if you are someone who doesn't necessarily enjoy playing the market, or you don't want to get into crafting and you just kind of want to expedite your acquisition of gold, then you can spend a few dollars on the game, get yourself a little gold boost. So let me just show you guys a little bit around my garage here. First, just a quick overview of all the menus that we're seeing. So the garage is where you actually construct your vehicles. We'll examine that a little bit more in a bit. Factions here. As you level up, once you reach level 10, you then get to pick a faction. And you can change faction, you're not locked into the decision forever. But I went with Nomads because that seems like the most sort of balanced faction. But some of them, you got your more tank-like factions, like the Steppenwolves here. You've got the Lunatic faction that is more crazy hit-and-run tactics, melee damage, very light armor, fast vehicles. And basically the factions that you unlock will then determine what pieces you get and what pieces you're able to craft. Because if we go here, let's say into Nomads, and we go to the crafting, these are a bunch of Nomad-specific items that you can craft, and we'll get more to crafting in a bit. Then we have the market. This is the auction house. This is where you can buy or sell different things. Again, all for gold, and as you can see, as I said, I have over 120 gold, actually, with, again, some tied up in investments, so I would be able to buy myself a few pretty good parts. And that was all just earned from in-game activity. Your storage, this is where you have all of the items that you own. Shop, this is where you can buy stuff, and as you can see, there's different types of microtransactions to get different things. Either just flat out gold to buy what you want, or you can get certain packs that come with certain pieces already, kind of bundles if you want. The exhibition hall is really fun. We're going to take a look at that later. This is where basically people design crazy things, and then you can vote on what you like the best, and you can actually try out these different designs in a little testing area. So we'll see what crazy things people have made in a bit. Then you have your seasonal missions. I haven't gone into these yet, but these are different missions to unlock different kinds of rewards. If we take a look at this easy one here, you'll see you start off simple mission, use machine guns, miniguns, lasers to destroy 15 players. I don't know why I actually haven't started this. This is super easy. I've been missing out on rewards here. Scrap is essential. Scrap is a resource that you get. You can use it for crafting. Well, you need to use it for crafting. But if you don't want to craft, you can sell that on the auction house in the market for quite a bit of gold. But you also get scrap from your daily missions. Every day you get a new challenge. You can store up to 3, so you can go 3 days without completing a challenge. You can even re-roll 1 challenge per day, I believe. It's a randomized challenge. It could be something every day, and I generally try to complete more than 1 challenge at a time, but you get your little scrap reward. Currently, there are other challenges that's basically just, hey, play this game and we'll give you loot crates. Now, I said there's no loot crates. There are loot crates, but not in the sense of the evil loot crates that we've been talking about lately. These are just meant to be little fun things. You open it up, you might get something good. But again, you could just go directly buy whatever you want in the market. Now back to our main screen here. Toward the bottom, you can see you can level up your drivers. As you level up your drivers, you can put different drivers in the car, in the cabin. And depending on what faction you're with, they'll have different little bonuses. These are very, very small bonuses, but as you accumulate them, they add up. And sometimes in a PvP battle, it's that little extra edge that'll make the difference. But as for the vehicles themselves, you can save different loadouts. And here you can see I have 4 different loadouts saved. This right here was my PvP loadout, is what I called it. So let me just kind of describe my thought process here. As my car design evolved over time, I very rapidly moved to 6 wheels because I learned that, hey, losing your wheels sucks. And only having 4 means if you lose 1 wheel, you're already kind of in rocky territory. With 6 wheels, you can afford to lose 1 wheel without feeling anything, even 2 sometimes. So you'll note that all of my designs are 6-wheel designs. Now you can kind of see I have the cabin of the vehicle there, and I've surrounded it with a bunch of armored pieces. You generally want to be protecting your cabin. And remember how I said you want to have a fuel tank? Well, here's mine. I snuck it under there. Look at that. It's really tough for an enemy to even see that or shoot it out. It's not going to be an easy target. Also, if someone does explode it though, it does damage to me. So there is a risk versus reward thing in having a fuel tank. A lot of people just plop their fuel tank in the back there, making it a pretty easy target. But pro tip, sneak it under your vehicle. And then I'm going with 4 machine guns because machine guns are awesome. You can really pinpoint fire. They're just kind of your general purpose weapon. I really like them. And you can see here, PS, that's power score. I've been trying to keep my power score around 2000. Because as I said, the higher your power score, the tougher your opponents as well. So I found at around a power score of 2000, I win most of my matches. I'm planning to get a couple more upgrades before I increase my power score and really get into the big leagues. Then you'll see here a different design, slightly different. I added more frames because I unlocked additional frames. I was looking to protect my wheels even more, so I have this crazy contraption. You can kind of see the evolution of the vehicle from this to this, where I added more of these frames around, and that's because having frames also gives you a sort of damage reduction. If we do a future tip video, we'll maybe get more into the specifics of this, but let's just say for now, it's mostly to protect the wheels. Unfortunately, I did not have enough of these frames, so I had to put this little weak piece in the back here. So that leads us finally to our ultimate design, which I currently use now in matches, which is this. It's sort of like a Batmobile thing with, I think it's pretty cool. It's crazy looking, but I like having these double wheels here. My wheels are now completely protected from all sides, and I'm pretty satisfied with this design. It's crazy. It might be a terrible idea. You don't generally see people with designs like these, but I think it's fun. And that leads us to my PvE design, where I'm just basically making the strongest, tankiest car I could make. And that's because in PvE, your power score doesn't matter. Here's where you can just dump all your strongest stuff. When you select a PvE mission, you select the difficulty. It doesn't scale based on your power score as far as I'm aware. That also means though that sometimes you get matched with people of wildly different power score. It doesn't really matter because they're on your team, but it could mean that either they're gonna carry you or you're gonna carry them. For the most part though, I've not really felt that I've never contributed or that I've been the only one contributing. Now in this design you can see I have this sort of awkward U-shape with a bunch of spikes, and this is to try to catch enemy vehicles as they come in, small enemy vehicles. And it sometimes works. This was a bit of an experiment. It's hasn't been highly successful. I also built a very wide design so that my car can't tip over. It will happen that you tip over, especially in more narrow designs, but there are car jacks that you could put on your car. You don't have to. You gotta make room for it. A car jack will allow you to flip your car back over. If you don't get one of those, you have to rely on your teammates to come help you, or after 30 seconds of being stuck, like a turtle, then you get auto-flipped, or you can auto-flip yourself. Again, it's a risk-reward thing. I try to avoid putting car jacks. I like to live dangerously, what could I say? And you might notice the different colors. That's because you can you can spray paint your vehicle different colors. You can spray paint the pieces individually, or spray paint the entire thing with a click of O. My colors were more muted because I was trying to go for a sort of camouflage type thing, but in PvE it doesn't matter, so paint your car red, paint it whatever you want. Alright, now let's just quickly put together a vehicle from scratch just to show you how that works. So you start with your frames. Let's lay down some frames here. The vehicle that I'm designing right now will be a PvE vehicle, so we're just gonna go crazy. I want something that's a little bit faster, so this cabin, this is the heart of your vehicle. These two are of equal power score, but the difference is that the Huntsman cabin is faster, whereas the Docker is slower but tankier. I'm tired of my vehicle being super slow, so we're gonna put ourselves one of these instead. Now let's stick a cannon on the front here. Sometimes you get missions where it says, kill X amount of enemies with a cannon, for PvE, for instance. So that's why sometimes I gotta switch away from my favorite machine guns. Alright, we're just building something silly right now, just to show you what's possible. Now, let's slap on a plow right at the front of our vehicle here. That should keep it safe. That seems like a good idea. You know what? Let's also put spikes. Because sometimes a plow just isn't enough. Alright, in your wheels you got ST, that's steering wheels, and wheels that don't steer, so let's put our steering wheels here. And now the non-steering wheels in the center. This is gonna go well. Gotta protect the gun, very important. There we go, more protection at the front. Gotta protect the gun. Let's see, 38 out of 45 pieces, so we can add 7 more pieces to this. Here, let's add some fenders for no reason. More wheel protection, because we need that, right? You know what? We need side spikes, so that if anyone charges us from the side, they're gonna get spiked. Alright, that's looking pretty good. Let's spray paint it now. Radioactive green. Beautiful. Look, that's just gorgeous. Let's take it for a test drive. How does it handle? Alright, handles like a limousine, as expected. Sneaky snake. Whoa, okay. Let's test it out against some bots here. Spawning the bots by pressing O. This is probably not gonna go well. Just FYI. But, here we go. Oh. Come on. Get in the... There we go. Now we got one. Nice. Hey, you know what? We might actually survive this wave of bots. Maybe. Oh, I just realized my armor is blocking the... I can't aim down because of my stupid protection. This is why it's always good to first test drive your vehicles before jumping into something. Oh, come on. There we go. Landed a shot. Let's ram him. He's vulnerable. There we go. You know, our vehicle's holding up surprisingly well. Oh no, we're losing wheels. We're losing structural integrity. Oh, there goes our shotgun. And our other gun, too. Well. Ramming speed. Come on. Okay. I guess we're just going for a ride here. Don't mind me. Alright, so that's just an example of one of the crazy things that you can build. But now let's check out in the exhibition hall some other crazy things that other people have built. What is this? What is this? It's a dragon. It looks like a dragon, a hovercraft. Alright, let's test it out. Where are they? Here we go. Oh yeah. Whoa. The control on hover vehicles is... Oh shit! Well, there go our guns. Godzilla. Going with the dragon theme. We got tank treads and hover arms. Oh, and little Godzilla arms. Okay. This is probably another joke design. And, oh no, we... Oh, what is this? Oh, it does actually use the tank treads. And the... Oh, wow. That is something else. Alright, we got this that I don't even know how to call, but this is gonna be some crazy chopper. Look at this. Oh man, I can't wait to eat up some enemies with that. I think F is an invisibility matrix. Yeah, so we can actually cloak. They won't see their death coming. Or I guess he still sees me. Damn it! Stupid hill- Oh no, we're upside down! Take 2. Alright, here we go. F to go invisible, they don't see me. Here we go, and destroyed! Alright. Now, Hover Dexter. Let's see what this is gonna be. Holy crap, what are the guns on this thing? Holy crap, the guns are these homing missiles? Whoa. They are- holy- look at that, look at that! Oh no! Okay. Okay, come on, he's gonna get him, he's gonna get him! Yeah! It didn't kill him though. We've got this walker design over here. That's pretty cool. This is Wild Wild West right here. And then you got this drag race design. This is interesting. It's just to show, basically. Again, just one of those for fun designs. Some kooky idea that someone made. It's super impractical to have basically two cars fused together, but, I mean, it drives, it works, it has guns, it is a usable design. Alright, and we're gonna finish by taking a look at sort of an endgame GG account. This is a press account that they've lent me just to be able to show off that kind of stuff here. So if you look into our storage, you can see that you have all kinds of crazy gear. And we touched upon the loot system before, but there are different tiers of gear, just like in Diablo. So you have your standard white gear, then you have blue, then you have purple. That's all more and more rare, more and more powerful. And if you click on battle, you'll notice that in your PvP missions, you will get random loot within a certain selection. So you can pick specific missions that have a higher chance of getting certain items, but then you still have a chance of getting a random item. This is of common rarity though. So for any items above white items, you would have to get them from the market, or from one of those loot boxes that you sometimes get from playing the game. In your PvP missions, your raids here, this is where you get sort of crafting materials that you'll be using, and you'll need to use if you want to craft things, because again, you can also just craft yourself blue and purple items. There's a brawl mode that it's PvP that isn't just your standard team deathmatch. There's even a clan system. So if you want to craft something, let's say we're gonna go to Dawn's Children, which is I believe the newest faction that they added. It's kind of crazy, spacey sci-fi designs. So first off, we need to have joined the factions, and again, remember that you can change your factions. I think you can switch once per day. So we're gonna hit join. This is now our current faction. Let's say we want to make a piece of purple gear. You'll notice that there is a cost to effectively rent a workbench. Now, purple is your endgame gear, so let's take a closer look at the blue, which is what you would be starting with, so the prices are a lot more reasonable. So for 25 gold, you rent a workbench and can build 5 parts. Then you can select what you'd want to craft, and as you can see, in order to craft, you need different base components, and these are the things that you get just from running your PvP missions. The scrap, as we said, you get from completing your daily quests, and you just kind of get it all the time. And then copper that you get from your PvE missions. Now, if you don't happen to have these extra parts lying around, the common parts are generally super cheap on the market. So let's rent this workbench to build 5 parts here. So it'll deduct 25 gold, and I ran the math on this. Even if you're going to sell items on the market, you still net a profit. It's not a crazy profit, but it's about the same profit you get from just buying and selling on the market. The only difference is it requires that initial upfront cost, but if you want to, you could use crafting as a means of just accumulating wealth. So now let's say we want to make this super cool synthesis plasma emitter here. Oh, thankfully we already have the parts for this, so we're gonna go ahead and hit build, and it'll take 1 hour to build. Let's hit track before we do that, and we're gonna hit build, hit yes, and there we go. We just wait an hour and it'll be done, or apparently we can just pay a couple gold and have it finished out. So let's do that. Normally I would probably wait, but just for purposes of showing, let's hit yes, click retrieve, and there we go. We've crafted a part. I was intimidated by the crafting system at first, but it's actually super simple. I think I was just thrown a bit by the whole rent a workbench thing, but again, it's very straightforward. Alright, let's just test drive one more vehicle from the exhibition hall before we finish here. This ancient knight vehicle with crossbows. This is just so cool. Look at this crazy steampunk invention. Boom! Man, the crossbows are awesome. Crossbows are crazy strong. Well, I mostly destroyed him. There we go. Oh, no, no, no! Oh, nearly tipped over there. But yeah, so that's the game Crossout. Remember, if you're gonna check it out, it's free to play, but if you want a key to get yourself a small boost to begin with, check out the link in the description below when you try out the game. Thanks for watching, thanks to Tarjum and Gaijin for sponsoring this video, thanks to my Twitch and Patreon supporters. If you enjoyed this video, please share it, check out these other videos, and subscribe to join Rhykker's Raiders for more gaming content.